Değerli Esport izleyenleri, 3 saniyeye hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Her hafta olduğu gibi basketbola dair en özel konular ve en özel konuklarla bu haftada sizlerleyiz. Bu haftaki konuğumuz Virtus Bologna'nın Amerikalı oyuncusu Kyle Weems. Kyle, hello. After seeing you in Istanbul, I think it was how many years before?
About four or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago, yeah, I met you, your wife, throughout the early Clarks, actually, let's call them Clarks. And I'm happy to have you as a guest on the show. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm great. I'm so happy, I love my job. I love talking to people. I love asking questions to the basketball players. So I'm very well. And so let's start with your career, with your journey, actually. I would like to know, how did you start basketball and why did you choose basketball?
I think basketball has just always been a part of my life from a very young age of 5 or 6. My dad gave me the ball, obviously. I grew up watching my Uncle Chris, who is actually on the Golden State Warriors player development staff, working out the players. So huge congrats to him. But he played at Stanford University back in the day in the late 90s. So during my early childhood, I watched him on TV all the time, watched him in the NCAA tournament. So it was always kind of a goal for me to at least get to the Division I NCAA level. And I was able to do that by going to Missouri State. And that obviously I had a really good career there. I finished number 2 all-time in points, in top 5 in a lot of other categories, which was a blessing. And that got me my first professional job in Bonn, Germany. I had a really good time there.
After we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about after your overseas journey. But first, you're such an amazing guest that you just, it's like a great to have as a guest like you, because you know what you're talking about. But I'm so curious, I read that you're from Kansas, right?
Yep.
I've never been there. It's a personal question. How was that place in the States?
I mean, you're not missing a lot by not visiting there. There's a lot of flat land, a lot of, dry land. But now my wife and I have a home in Overland Park, Kansas, a suburb of Kansas City, and it's a perfect place to raise a family. I mean, we have the Kansas City Chiefs American football team. We have Kansas City Royals professional baseball. So there's a bunch of different stuff. And we have a NASCAR track. So we have a bunch of different stuff for families to go enjoy. The downtown is up and coming. So it's a great place to be as far as for raising your family.
Yeah, because I've been to Milwaukee because of the NBA Finals. I've been to different places. I mean, I've been to Milwaukee. So meanwhile, I'm thinking about Milwaukee. I obviously wanted to know about Kansas. So, because, those places are different than New York, LA, Chicago.
For sure.
So it's
for sure.
And so you said about NCAA, right? You've been very successful, but you went undrafted. So that night, I would like to know, because I attended draft. I was there in the green room during the draft nights because of this Turkish kid, Alperen Şengün, that I was being the translator of. And so I've seen that whole scene. Like, I've seen what was going on out there. So and I would like to know, when a player such a talented player like you are, like what went through your mind when you went undrafted back in that time?
I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't in a position to be in a green room or anything like that. But, I watched it with my family because I was still on a couple teams, draft boards, not sure how high or how low. But they were still, during the whole process, still even up to the last 59 and 60th pick with the San Antonio Spurs and the Lakers. They were still in contact with my agent. But, I never second-guessed guys' plans. So, but it was a stressful time. I mean, this is kind of something you've been dreaming of your whole life. So everybody dreams as a young boy, to make it to the NBA. But when it didn't happen, I knew that I would have other avenues to pursue my dream. So.
And then you did, actually, right? Because you've been playing amazing especially, I must say, especially in Virtus Bologna, that, everyone is like, Kyle Weems is real good, like really, really good, and especially also in Beşiktaş that you proved yourself. But how did it start with overseas, like Germany, France, and Turkey?
Yep. So my first 2 years I was in Germany. I played my rookie year with Bonn. It was a great experience. It was real, I guess you could say, Americanized. Everybody spoke English, so it was an easy transition. My second year I played for Bayreuth, Germany. It was a smaller city. We only played one time a week. So I really just worked on my game and hung out with my wife, who was at the time my fiance. My third and fourth year I spent in France. It was a really good experience because I played for Nanterre, which is a suburb of Paris. We were able to win the Euro Challenge championship that year. So that was a really good experience and a fun team to be a part of. My fourth year, I was introduced to the EuroLeague. I played in the EuroLeague with Strasbourg. And then we dropped down at a group stage because we didn't advance to the top 16. So we dropped down to the EuroCup, and we were able to take second place, losing to Galatasaray in the championship series, which was another good experience. And then for 3 years in a row, honestly, not just because I'm on with you right now, but Turkey was my favorite place to play, other than being here in Bologna. I played 2 years for Beşiktaş and 1 year for Tofaş in Bursa. And then I've been, here in Bologna ever since. So
yeah, and Beşiktaş, and actually before Beşiktaş, the EuroCup finals against Galatasaray. What went wrong on that final?
Honestly, I mean, everybody likes to look at how we lost game 2, but I like to go back to even game 1. We ended up only winning that game by 4 points, and we were winning by 8 to 10 points late in that game. And back then, it wasn't a best out of 3 series, kind of like how it is now, or even in this new format, it's only 1 game. So it was 2 games, home and away, so every point mattered. So when we only won by 4, we knew it was going to be very tough there because their fans were great. They were loud. It makes it hard for you to, 15,000. They were already sold out. Abadi Abechi, before we even arrived, they were already, 15,000 people in the building before we even got to the arena. So we knew it was going to be difficult, but we fought to the very end so we can, we walked away disappointed, but our heads were still held high.
Mm-hmm. And Beşiktaş, obviously, I mean, Turkish team, I'm here in front of you over the actual Zoom interview. What makes Turkey special for your career? Or does it make any special things? Or
No, for sure. I think the amount of talent that was on my team is similar to here in Bologna. I mean, like you said earlier, guys like playing with Earl Clark, who was in the NBA, DJ Strawberry, who was in the NBA, John Diebler had a great professional career over here. Michael Rowe, who's played for multiple EuroLeague teams. So we had some really good players. Playing for Coach Ufu was awesome. He's a great players coach, and he's won championships, and he's even still doing great things at Karşıyaka right now. So just the overall experience, and then living in Istanbul, that was my favorite place to live. As far as being in Europe. So just the overall lifestyle, plus you mix the good basketball situations that I was able to be a part of, and it made for a great 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and do you see now, because Beşiktaş is having very small amount of American players or even foreign players right now. They use only young talents. Have you ever watched lately Beşiktaş game? For example, last season?
I watched a few of their games last year with the young Turkish kid that was drafted, just because I wanted to see not kind of what all the hype was about, but he definitely lived up to it. I think he's going to be a really good pro, especially in the NBA. Just his activity, his versatility. It's just he's fun to watch. So I even got to watch him this summer in the NBA Summer League. So, but yeah, no, like you said, they use a lot of young Turkish talent and even young Americans to kind of come over and prove themselves. And, they had also, I believe James Blackman was there last year. I think we were in the same agency. So, yeah, I mean, they've had some really good players come through there since I've left.
Yeah, and then after Tofaş happened for 1 year, so I guess you played well over there too. And I was not doing the EuroCup. I was not doing the EuroCup as a reporter. No, I was trying to think that when you were there, I was there. No, you were not,
Mm-hmm.
and because you were playing for Bologna, Virtus Bologna, and I was there actually in Belgrade when there was a last game between Virtus Bologna and Darüşşafaka. So what makes you guys so special as an Italian team? Because you won the 2 cups, right? Last year.
We won one. We lost to Unix Kazan in the Final Four. Yep, not EuroCup, but we won the Italian championship. So at least we got to end the year on a great win, a great night. So that was special. I think what makes us such a tough team is our depth. We have so many guys that can play multiple positions, and I think that makes us tough to scout and be able to kind of, I guess you could say, pick your poison on who you want to stop. I mean, everybody knows Milos Teodosic and Marco Bellinelli. That's kind of the engine to our car, if that's what you want to say. But I just try to feed off of them. And now we have even more energetic, athletic guys like Jakar Sampson, who's filling in for Epe, who's injured, and now Isaiah Cornet, who's filling in for Abbas, who was injured as well. So we've been able to kind of get lucky and get some really good players to fill in for some unlucky injuries that happened to us early in this season.
Yeah, but as you've named so many talented players and big names, but I want to know something very specific. What makes you really, really special?
Like I said, our depth. I think the way that we can score the ball, we have so many different guys that can shoot from the outside, that can post up, that can create their own shot, that can defend. We have 3 centers now that can all play a significant role. So, like I said, just our depth and just how many different people that can score the basketball.
Mm-hmm, exactly. I needed to know that. I needed to hear that for my audience. And you're playing for Italian basketball league, Serie A, Lega Basket Serie A. But how is that from a point of an American basketball player? Is it an easy league, or is it more difficult than Turkish basketball league? Like, how do you evaluate that?
No, I haven't been really able to follow along with the Turkish basketball league ever since I've left. But I think it's similar to the Turkish league whenever I was there. I mean, you have a lot of teams have 5 foreigners to 5 Italians, and about half of the league has 6, like we do, 6 foreigners to 6 Italians. So Italian national players, I think their basketball has risen in the last couple of years, and they've been putting some good basketball players out. So that mixed with the foreigner talent level, it makes for a great league. So you have to be ready in any given night because the lowest level team can beat anybody if you're not ready. So I think it's a very tough league, very physical, it's athletic, and I think it's definitely one of the better leagues in Europe.
It is. I think the same with you. Since we did a compression between Turkish league and Italian league, now in Turkey, Fenerbahçe has a former coach of Virtus Bologna, Sasha Djordjevic. How did it feel for you to work with him? Like, how is he as a coach?
Oh man, he was great. One thing about Sasha is he treats you as a man. He treats you with respect, and he demands the same in return. You can laugh, you can joke, and have fun, but when you come in between the lines, you know he demands you to play hard and do your job. But at the same time, he's there for you off the court as a person. He helped me out a lot. I lost my father a couple of years to lung cancer, and just always checking on me, always checking on my mother, just seeing how we're doing away from the game. And the way that he helped me through that situation is something that, I'll have an extreme amount of love for him forever. So I was sad that we couldn't continue to work together here in Bologna, but when he got the Fenerbahçe head coaching job, I was very happy for him and his family.
Yeah. By the way, I'm sorry for your loss to hear that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
And yeah. I mean, since we've been watching his games here in Fenerbahçe, because I've been following his games also. I mean, your games, Virtus Bologna games when you were playing EuroCup, and this season as well. This season, how do you see your schedule, EuroCup?
I think we're definitely in a difficult group. There's a lot of up and coming teams. We know that opening up at Bursaspor is going to be difficult. Especially with the fans being back in the building, and they have a great fan base. They have a really solid team. So we have to be ready from the start. Also with teams like Valencia and Borg out of France, who's shown to be on the rise too the last couple of years in Europe. And then, down the highway from us, Valencia is always a tough team. So, especially with the different group play this year, with it being, a little bit more emphasis on trying to get home court for the playoffs is very important. So the competition in a whole is very strong this year.
Right. I hope you'll do great like you did. I mean, as a team 2 years ago. And so as we've been talking about EuroCup, I needed to ask this. What went wrong against Unix Kazan during the semifinals last season?
Well, I think
I'm sorry, before we start, everyone was like, Virtus Bologna is going to win the cup. So.
Yeah, well, I think any basketball player, especially at the pro level, can tell you that basketball is all about matchups. And they weren't the best matchup for us. Kind of like I don't think Monaco was the best matchup for them in the championship series, and that's the way that basketball plays out sometimes. Teo was able to hit some really tough shots in game one, but it was still very close. We didn't execute the best of our, what we had been doing all year. We missed some shots in game two, but we battled back and, we fouled late and Jamar Smith hit 2 clutch free throws and then we turned it over. So some of this stuff was not really in our character. And again, that's the way sports happen sometimes. But they kind of similar to us this year. They got 5 guys on the floor that are really versatile, really athletic. They switched a lot and took us out of our sets and made us play one-on-one. And everyone knows that, we prided ourselves on sharing the basketball and getting everybody involved. And you have to give them credit for taking that away. So overall, it was a great series. It just, it sucks that we weren't able to accomplish a goal that was one of our main.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't want to say hate, but I don't like to ask those questions because I'm doing sometimes empathy, I'm trying to put myself in your position.
No, it's part of it.
It's part of the game, but that night might be a very bad night of your career, like you would never.
No, it's okay. It's part of it. I mean, obviously that loss still stings because we felt we slipped on a huge chance to do something special, but just kind of keep it in your back pocket and remember that feeling. So hopefully we don't have to feel that way again.
Yeah, and as a name, Virtus Bologna, from outside, from Turkey, I've been following. I've lived in Italy for 8 years, but now I'm in Turkey. And from what I see from you guys, that's why I asked, what makes Virtus Bologna so special? Because you look so special as a team. You look very, like with the quality, you look like a brand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's
no, for sure.
It's such a great to watch a team like that. And I'm so curious what's going to happen this year. But I want to know also about Virtus Bologna fans. Like if they see you on the screen, how they are.
Oh, man. I mean, I've said it multiple times. The fan bases in Turkey were great. Don't get me wrong. But in my opinion, they're the best fans here in Bologna that I've ever played in front of. Just the way that they understand the game of basketball. They know when to kind of get on you. They know when to get on the opposing team. They know when to yell at the referees. I mean, they understand the game. This is why they call it Basket City. When you're out and about, just walking in the city with my wife and kids, they're for sure. They're not shy. They'll ask you for a picture. They'll ask you for an autograph. But I enjoy it. They just there's nothing that you could do wrong in their eyes. If you play for their team, they love you until you leave. So, and even after. So, I've really enjoyed playing for them. They're really our sixth man. And then ever since, kind of COVID protocols have loosened up a little bit, getting them back into our arena has been great so far.
Yeah, exactly. When I was there, I've seen they love. It's a basketball city, as you said. And how was your friendship with? Because also not as a reporter, not as a journalist, as let me call it as a basketball fan, I see Milos Teodosic a little bit cold, as a basketball fan. Mm-hmm. But how is he as a friend, as a team?
Oh man. Oh, he's great. He's great. I mean, the other day, his daughter goes to the same international school as my son's, and we weren't doing anything, so we went and had coffee. I mean, he's a normal guy. He's very funny. He's always joking. But like you said, it seems like maybe he's mad all the time or he's a little bit cold. No, he's always joking. He's just when it comes to basketball, that's his time to lock in and be focused. And but when he leaves there, he's a great family man. He's always spending time at the park with his daughter and taking her to school, picking her up. Like I said, he's just a normal guy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but I wanted to know about that. And so Kyle, before I close my interview with you, I always ask this. Can you make your top 5 EuroLeague player list? Top 5.
Top 5 EuroLeague players right now?
Right now, this season, 2021, 2022.
Man, that's
tough.
The
hardest question. I know.
Ooh, that's tough. Okay, I'll go Shane Larkin.
Okay.
In no particular order, Jan Vesely, because he's just so versatile. I've loved what he's able to do for different clubs, different coaches, so on. I'll go with a good friend of mine, Siobhan Shields. At the 3.
I do high five from here.
Yes. I'll go with Siobhan at the 3. At the 2, Misic from Efes.
Yeah.
And at the 4, man, that's tough. He might not be a real 4, but I'll go Davies from Barcelona. I'll play. Yeah. Wow, I'll play him with Jan Vesely.
Jan Vesely. I like this 5. You can easily be a good coach. Like
but there's so many great EuroLeague players. Man.
I know.
And Will Clyburn can easily be on that list too. I was a little biased because Siobhan's a good friend of mine, but Will Clyburn is arguably the best small forward in all of EuroLeague. So.
No, but I like Siobhan. I like his style of playing. Like he's cold.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to do an interview in Bologna with all of you guys. Actually, that was fun.
For sure. Let me know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kyle, and take care.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Değerli Sport izleyenleri, haftaya tekrardan yeni bir 3 saniyede görüşmek dileğiyle. Hoşça kalın.